I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. The double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And the mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word, Lord willing, that y'all all can continue to endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwatiyam that are believers in His faith and His truth. Lord willing, that you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. This is inspired by a little conversation me and my brother had. This was yesterday after working 12-hour shifts. We was tired, but every time I leave work, I have like a fire within me. I could say, maybe because I was reading and hearing the word and listening to lessons and taking certain notes, that I come home and it'd be like a spiritual fart. So my brother, this is not to like boast myself or boast him up, but just all through the Spirit. The whole point of this lesson is, be on fire for your brother, right? Because you never know when your brother ain't got that type of fire in him at that moment, but soon as it's ignited or close to another fire, it will spark, right? Like you could be a fire and they could be the fuel, and just imagine that fuel is pushed over, right? It's going to be fuel to that fire, and the fire is going to catch on to the leaking fuel, if it makes sense. So the brother has said, he was like, it's great to have a brother in your camp that's nonstop fire. Like I told you before, you blessed to be able to have that type of fire. And it's all Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. I still like, a lot of us, Salaki, I'm getting excited, a lot of us feel like we need to do better, And then I had said to him, as it just came to mind, I said, Khan, but I study y'all. I study the brothers that's around me to help me, even though he say that, he the first person that I seen to remember rapid precepts and to teach different on a different level, and how he ordered his house. I wanted to be like him, like through the Spirit. Through the Spirit, it was I looked at him as a role model because of certain things that the Lord allowed me to see in him. Not for himself, but just for me to see. And it was able for me to cleave to be like, you know what, I want that. I want to be able to remember precepts, but it wasn't just remembering precepts. He was sincere, mostly every time when he teach or when he think about a lesson. So I had said that, and I said, I try my best to listen to him because he's the head of the congregation, regardless if I'm second or whatever role I'm playing. He's always giving good order or instruction or advice or even tips, right? Yeah, even just his point of view or his opinion. If you need help, or even if you don't need help, certain things he's just reminiscing or things he's dealing with. When he starts speaking, it helps me with things that I'm dealing with or things that might happen in the future, right? And so I had said, it's both fire both ways, because if I'm a fire, you have to be the fuel to the fire, right? Because the beginning of what I said is that I study y'all, I study the other four brothers that I labor with. Actually 5, because Bashar, which would be 6 altogether, and I take bits and pieces from each brother because that's my circle, and even outside that circle, the elder apostles on down from Great Millstone, right? Watching the elder Yashawamba, right? The brother or elder Amawan Gabar, Apostle Rumlab, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Tahar, the bishops, right? On and on, like even brothers down from them, how they deliver, how they teach, but not even more so that, how sincere. Every day they're trying to give their effort to edifying the sheep, not to be popular, not to boast in himself, but to constantly be diligent for the Lord and his sheep, right? So they're fused to the fire too. And then the brother just said, he got getting excited because we see certain things, especially when we watching videos and then we get to work. I might be like, yo, I gotta tell you something. He gotta tell me something. Then he say something. And then I'd be like, yo, I was just about to tell you this. And we both having the same thought, right? And he said, he dealing with us, and that's fire. And we always try to find ways to see that the Lord is dealing with us, right? Because we don't want to be moving on our own, right? We don't want to be saying this thing is of ourselves, right? And then he hit back. He said, message. He said, this is a lesson. And then he was like, Salaki. He basically just quoted, if I'm the fire, you have to be the fuel of the fire. So this inspired, this lesson right here, that, when you come in this thing, it doesn't matter how long you've been in this thing. If you got brothers that you've been laboring with daily, it's no way that you should be lukewarm or cold in this thing. Those should be that fire around you to keep you on edge, right? To keep you going in this course, right? So I just want to get these precepts and then I'll close. This is Hebrews, the 10th chapter, and 23 in the NLT. It says, let us hold tightly without wavering to the hope of fear, for God can be trusted to keep his promise. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to act of love and good works, which love, 1 John 3:18, love is a deed in truth, which is action, right? So we want to motivate one another through the Spirit, and truly you motivating the brothers that's singing the same song, and then even the sheep that's going to cleave to this same song. If you contradicting, you mocking, you'll believe in some and not all, we're not fully connected as a unit, right? Because the church or the body is going to, regardless if it's a finger or a toe, they're all moving in the same motion, right? Verse 25, it says, let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near, right? So we have to encourage one another, because like me and the brother was saying for the past few days, Yahawashi is about to be here soon. You could just see it, just see what's going on. Like just showed the brother a video, I think it's in the Capitol, where they was throwing smoke bombs in the Capitol. We're getting close to that time where Yahweh is about to send Yahawashi, and while you in this thing, you should be not only on fire for yourself, but on fire for your brothers, on fire for the other believers. I want to get, I think I'm going to get both of them. They both say two different things, but kind of the same thing. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 24 in verse 33. I just want to get the point. It says, behold, I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom, right? And even though I'm teaching, I call myself a prophet, I'm still a student. So I'm seeking wisdom too. Every day I'm trying to sharpen myself. Yahawashi not here yet, so I got to master these scriptures so that I can feed the sheep. This is not about getting boring. This is not about keep bringing out the same scriptures, right? You have to know that we're in his flesh, and Jake has a small attention span, right? We have to constantly hear the same thing over and over again, because we're that stubborn and rebellious nation, right? And not only the brothers that we labor with, even the sheep that's still slow into coming in this thing, right? You're constantly doing videos where you got some congregations that would say brothers do too many videos, or you speaking to the wind. Hey, if somebody want to hear, they got questions, hey, all praises. But if they don't, and people not, we're supposed to be a public show to the Heavenly Father, to the angels, and to people, unto men, right? That's 1 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, in verse 9, which is a spectacle, right? You're supposed to teach this word regardless if they hear or forbear. In that same time, the sheep are going to be motivated, right? Through the Spirit, how some brothers naturally, like the elder apostle and some of the brothers, you got sisters or brothers that will make garments for the brothers, or drop water, or then out of nowhere dropping money, and you don't got a sign saying you can give donations, which happened to me 2 days ago, right? That would just be a spark. But really, the thing that we doing is to gather the sheep, gather the flock, you know? And it's really by this foolish preaching, right? 1 Corinthians 10, I believe 18 or 21, where the Lord created this foolish preaching to only for believers. So yeah, we out here looking like fools for Hamashiach's sake, but only for the believers, right? Let me get another one in that one. Sirach chapter 33 in verse 17, it says, consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning, right? So we're not only doing this for ourselves, and that's really the elect, the ones that want to be on fire for the Lord, right? Some of us, before we get into truth, you might be seeking for the truth. You might be seeking to this, might be looking at Illuminati, might be a conspiracy theory. But it's all going to lead you to come into this truth, depending if the Lord is calling you in this faith. 1 Thessalonians 5:11, wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. Edify means to build or built, right? Building or built. So you want to build your brothers up, right? Hey, some sisters might need to get builded too. Sometimes these things is going to break you down, and then it's going to build you up, right? This is Galatians 6:2. Bear ye another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Hamashiach, right? And even Hamashiach say, those of heavy laden, take my yoke, right? Because it's like we supposed to be the same reflection, right? And sometimes, you know, when we have a conversation with our brothers or you sisters, you gotta sometimes put yourself in their shoes and hear them out. But even more, you want to give them the encouragement through the scriptures of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, like Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpen iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friends. And it's not the outward countenance, it's the inward countenance. 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter, verse 7. The Lord said he's not, let's get it, because I don't want to slaughter that. Let's not slaughter that one. 1 Samuel 16, verse 7 in the KJV, and it says, but Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I refuse him. For Yahweh seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but Yahweh looketh on the heart, right? So we supposed to be sharpening each other inwardly, right? Sharpen the countenance of his friends, right? Which is actually you sharpening his mind, his heart, the way he think, how he perceive, right? You want to guide brothers in the scriptures so that it's like teaching your child how to ride a bike without training wheels. Because then eventually, just like the eunuch was guided through the scripture by Philip, Lord willing, later on, the training wheels got taken off, and then the Rakak Wadash was dealing with him. Because if you're a true believer, in this time, we're fully developed in the Rakak Wadash, because it was the time of the apostles when they was getting the Rakak Wadash. Then the falling away came, the books were sealed. Now the books are opening up, right? Knowledge is increasing, and the Lord is putting that spirit of life upon the elect on this side. So we're fully dealing with the Rakak Wadash on this side, right? Different than Jeremiah and them, where it was thus saith the word of the Lord was coming upon them, even though it was the spirit of wisdom, right? But in this side, we're getting the Rakak Wadash fully in the name of Hamashiach Yahushai, right? Let's get this one. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 16. I'll read in the KJV and then the NLT, and then we'll close. It says, let the word of Hamashiach dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns, in spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And whatever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahushai, giving thanks to God in the Father by him. In the NLT, it says, let the message about Hamashiach in all its richness fill your lives. Teach and counsel each other with all the wisdom he gives. Sing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs to God with thankful hearts. And whatsoever you do or say, do it in a representative of the Lord Yahweh Shai, giving thanks through him to God the Father, which is Yahweh, right? So again, let the message about Hamashiach in all its richness fill your lives, and teach and counsel each other with all the wisdom he gives. And how is he giving that? Through the Rakak Wadash. This is why brothers is always bringing up Yahawashi, 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 right? The Yahawashi totally oversees the law. It's not saying forget the law. He oversees because he is the physical Godhead of Yahweh, who's going to come and save us. He's the one that got on that cross and died for us. Because no bullock, no ram, no lamb can cover us like Yahawashi can, right? And Yahawashi is the one that the Heavenly Father will send the Rakak Wadash in his son's name. And that Rakak Wadash is going to teach us all things. So Yahawashi is important in your life so that you can fully walk in the ways of the Lord and rehearse his acts, right? Because the elect are real actors of the Lord. They're rehearsing the law while being in this carnal flesh, and they're growing in faith, let alone the true believers, the men, is teaching this word on a high frequency and teaching the deep things. They're not just only in the law, they're going into prophecies, the parables, the dark sayings. And the sheep out here that's coming in this faith are knowing the prophets by the Spirit. And that's the Spirit of Yahawashi going into prophecies predicting the future. And the sheep that's growing in faith is waiting on the Lord, right? I said that was my last one, but this just came up, you know, conversation earlier with my oldest daughter, right? This is it? Okay, this is Psalm chapter 70, verse 1. And this is Psalms of David to bring remembrance. It says, make haste, O God, to deliver me. Make haste to help me, O Yahweh. In the NLT, please God, rescue me. Come quickly, Yahweh, and help me. The more the elect grow in his faith, the more they want the Lord to rescue them, because now the more wisdom you get, then the more sorrowful you is on this side, because now you're getting aware in the spirit, right? This flesh is getting more weak, right? You getting sick, right? The mindset of Jake is just hitting you on a more time well, on a higher level, right? Now, you know, coming in his faith, you rather live a simple life. Things ain't how it used to be. Food ain't how it used to be. TV ain't how it used to be. We need Yahawashi to come ASAP. You know, I want, like what they say, I want my money and I want it now. I want my kingdom and I want it now in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I want order in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Right? So, Lord willing, this is motivating, and so that you can continue to motivate somebody else and continue to see the motivation that they have and the drive that they have, that it can bounce off of them onto you. Because this is like a ping pong recycling fire, just repeatedly until Yahawashi comes. So with that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. Again, double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit. Continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwat Yum. Shalom, Lord willing, the Most have mercy on other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. I want to be leaving motivation. Shalom.